Hello everybody, welcome back to It's Current Year for another quick battle ladder replay. Today on the Hell Pit map, I'm up against Astriolis, which is the moniker of quite a well-known player within the community, but I won't give it away who it is for their sake in case I want to remain anonymous. But I am playing some High Elves. Astriolis is playing the Empire, and we're on another one of these maps, which isn't always conducive to great games of Warhammer. This one does devolve into a bit of a glorified sort of choke point battle, but it was a pretty fun battle nonetheless. So I'm going to cast it and we'll get to the army. So for my opponent, swordsmen and spears, Sigmar's sons up the front. So lots of state troops, lots of just, I guess, cheap units that just let you go pretty wide. Give the High Elves lots to deal with. We do have the silver bullets in the back here. We have the Sunmaker, which is a pretty common pick actually against High Elves, and I guess sort of High Elves and maybe even Dark Elves. It fires through its ammo very quickly. It only has 8 ammunition, but it fires it quite quickly. That's 8 per, obviously, cannon piece. And he's quite accurate and very high missile strength. So it is not a bad pick. It's semi-common against the High Elves. 3 units of Reichsguard, another unit you don't see a lot on the roster, but probably is another one of their better matchups. So we have that nice metallic sort of color scheme here with the red lancers. We have a grey wizard, which is the Law of Shadows, pendulum, and looks like enfeebling foe. Another magic law, which sometimes gets outclassed, I guess, in other ways, but pendulum, even since the nerfs, I guess, is quite good against elves because they're quite tightly packed. Low HP pools, you can actually punch through their infantry quite well. And leading the force up in the sky, Graf Todbringer. I love a bit of Boris. So it looks like he's taken the White Cloak as well as the Midland Runefang for his regen. He's also got the Crush the Weak for the debuffs and the Blood Roar from the Griffin he rides, debuffing leadership. So Empire definitely get the better pick of the litter when it comes to Griffins. Better than the High Elf Griffins without their Blood Roar. But that is lore friendly. That's what it was like on the tabletop. So for my forces, similarly, we've gone pretty cheap with the infantry. We've got rangers. They trade well into state troops and that kind of thing. Several units of spearmen, one out the back, couple out the back here, protecting a couple of bolt throwers. Because cannons, and even, like I said, the Sunmaker is semi-common here. You need something to sort of shoot back in there. Otherwise, these guys are good against demigriffs, which are a common pick here and tough for the High Elves to deal with generally. We've got 2 units of archers. They'll have a good target here, I guess, in the silver bullets. They will outrange them, and they can just be good for screening off pistoliers, things like this. We have 2 units of Illyrian Reavers, 2 units of Dragon Princes in the back. So we've got a bit of sort of, well, Dragon Princes are elite cav. Reichsguard, I'd say semi-elite, but yeah, nice stats, bit of physical resistance, good armor. Fire resistance, not so obviously, not as relevant here, but we have for the mage, we have a High Caster. So Apotheosis and Soul Quench, again, can target single entities like opposition spellcasters, can target artillery pieces. And leading the force, hiding behind the tree here, quite, if I get my camera right, we have a Lithanar, and oh, look at that, he's about to bang a shot off. Oh yeah, that's a nice cinematic pick. So I've taken the Moonbow and Mislead. Wish he had Stalk base. I don't know why he doesn't. He's the freaking Shadow King. But Lithanar good in this matchup because he does kill demigriff models. So he's going to start teeing off. Don't know what he's shooting at just at the moment. Gets a shot into Boris. Boris will probably regen there, but I'm going to make my way up, and you're going to see what the Hellstorm ROR can do here. I'm tightly enough packed here. Look here, I only got 1 or 2 of those rockets here on those archers, and they have really done a number on me. And just the tightly packed nature of elven infantry means taking a lot of damage there. So right off the bat, 2 or 3 volleys, and like I said, look how quick it's getting through its ammunition. So even if you are sort of rushed, you can actually burn through it very quick. And if your target priority is good, you can do a lot of damage. You can spread a lot of damage across a force like this. You can potentially nuke a single unit. So we get a nice dodge there on the pendulum. But yeah, this Hellstorm's going to use its ammo very quickly, and the Soul Quench now going down into the Grey Wizard, doing a lot of damage. That might have been an overcast. But yeah, it's probably not even worth it for my bolt throwers or even a Lithanar at this point to really target the Hell Pit, because I'm not going to be able to kill the unit models quick enough here. he's getting good value from the ammo, and it's nearly out of ammo. So at this point, I'm probably better off changing Elithanar onto either the Shadowcaster, probably either the Reichsguard to try and kill models, or even just getting damage into Boris Todbringer. So on this side, I'm just sending a unit of spears out. I do see these Reichsguard. Likewise on the other flank, I'm going to send my Dragon Princes out because 1-to-1 they will actually trade well into the Reichsguard. They'll beat them quite well. Front lines are clashing, Rangers versus Swordsmen. It's a bit of a wash, but it will go quite well. Another Pendulum getting dodged here, although it does sort of just... Oh no, it doesn't even really clip me. And Silver Bullets now have revealed themselves and are taking fire from the Archers. By far the best target for them at the moment. Because obviously the magic damage does bypass the physical resistance, and the armor piercing obviously is good against my Dragon Princes. He can potentially snipe Elithanar, although Elithanar's just sort of content to do his thing at the moment. Dragon Princes are going to clash in the front line. We have the Illyrian Reavers coming down. I'm sort of having to plug the hole as much as anything with those Illyrian Reavers because my Rangers just got absolutely shellacked by the Sunmaker. We're bringing our spears forward as the Archers tee off. We do have some numbers out here, but these are Illyrian Reavers, so I don't want to get too ballsy and push here. I want to try and just let him come to me and use my spears as much as I can. But you see now that the Sunmaker, I mean, I'm shooting at the Sunmaker. I really shouldn't be. He's used all his ammunition now. I need to turn my attention to probably the cavalry, or just put some pressure on Boris. Rangers are coming back into the front line. We've done a good job shutting down the Silver Bullet, so the Archers have probably made their value back. And I see the spears being brought up, and I don't want to give my opponent a fight there with Dragon Princes fighting spears because it's a bit of a waste. Unfortunately, my opponent will get into the cookie jar a little bit, but I'm kind of not too fussed about the bolt throwers anymore. I wanted to try and bait them in. We do have some Reavers coming out, and we are rotating now onto the Reichsguard with the Dragon Princes, so they will probably go down. Likewise over here, I'm looking elsewhere obviously at the moment. I'm going to pull these Reavers back, and my opponent is going to get in on top of the Eagle Claw bolt throwers. But Elithanar is sitting away here and has managed to get some shots into the Grey Wizard. Likewise, the Shadow Mage, as my misled or my decoyed Elithanar, is down here fighting away. But unfortunately, my Shadow Mage has been pulled up into the fight, and he's taken a very, very strange path of retreat, not coming out the back of the force here like I'd hoped. So unfortunately, the Shadow Mage is probably going to see her off the field now, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, full health unit of spears for my opponent is in the back here, but my Dragon Princes are quite healthy here. We're going to come down the hill and maybe try and do some cycle charging. Another unit of Dragon Princes just rotating through the back here. These Illyrian Reavers are probably going to get mopped up by the Spearmen. Elithanar is using as much ammo as possible. We have the Silver Bullets back on, and it's just a bit of a, like I said, bit of a glorified choke point battle. However, there's plenty of gas left in the tank for both teams. There's full health units of spears over here, reasonably healthy infantry dotted around. Boris is still very healthy, and I'm aware of this, and wanting to start making some moves on Boris. So I'm moving my moving Elithanar around, getting him nice and set up for some a stable firing position. We do have some bolt thrower crews returning from the fight, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to make it back to their pieces. Over in the distance, unfortunately, the Shadow Mage has seen off my my High Mage, and that's terrible. These Dragon Princes have been terrified. They will come back, and we are going to just put some separation between these spears. With those Illyrian Reavers, we're going to unfortunately have to sacrifice them, but we do see the Reichsguard coming back over here, and the Dragon Princes can rotate out. Like I said, bolt thrower crews coming back, but I'm not sure they're not going to be able to do much. We are going to catch some Reichsguard here on the Spearmen, maybe try and stabilize these Archers, but Elithanar at this point has a problem. He's got a bit of ammo left, and we've done a good job shutting down the Knights, but Boris is just sitting in the air. He's pretty healthy. He's regenning. This Shadow Wizard over here has successfully seen off my High Mage, so we don't have any healing for our own cav. And unfortunately now I'm just going to have to try and avoid Boris as best I can to try and, I guess, sort of leave him till last and see if I can't sort of clean up everything else, because I don't want these Dragon Princes, if I throw them in against Boris, it's just a waste. The Moonbow does go off. I don't know what, this guy Elithanar is like several millennia old at this point. He's one of the greatest archers in the world, but missed that by the size of a small boat. But we are getting some shots in, at least to the blob here. I see the I see that these guys are obviously very isolated out here, and I figure maybe I can get some shots in, just put as much damage as I can into the caster before he comes in. Before he comes and gets me. Who knows? Might be able to rout him. I still have a semi-healthy unit of Dragon Princes here. 38 Dragon Princes with 2.5k HP. I have some regrouping infantry coming back. This is the real Elithanar. The decoyed one was originally sort of mucking up Boris's attacks and fooling him, but he's not getting fooled anymore. I'm going to rotate away again, like I said, just using the Dragon Princes where I can to rout off anything that's, you know, peripheral to the fight, because 1-to-1 they're not going to be able to really do much against Boris. Although I do see that his healing cap is within sight now, and Elithanar does have a bit of ammo left, you know, very high missile strength, and with 7 shots left, if I can land most of them, I can maybe kill Boris, and that's really my only way back in here, because he's very healthy. Everything else is very tattered from both sides. I have some handful of rangers over here. I have some spearmen holding the lines against swordsmen and you know, just state troop spears here. And again, Dragon Princes can pin with mass. They can potentially get some charge damage in. So I'm just going to have to stay the course here for as long as I can. Jump around with the Elithanar, pull him back towards the Dragon Princes again. I'm trying to just sort of bait in a fight here. These spears are going to go down. Not much I can do about that at the moment. The the Hellstorm rocket battery crew have come up. They've got 150 kills. They're going to die to the Rangers, but you know, just disrupting me as best they can. And Elithanar, you know, getting shots in. I'm at least getting Boris as low as I possibly can. And now a little bit of a dance. We are in the ultra late game here. The Shadowcaster is probably out of Winds of Magic at this stage. Putting the charge in with the Rangers before the Dragon Princes commit. They are going to hit home a nice charge here. Probably going to be able to buckle off the state troops. But yeah, Enfeebling Foe going down on the Dragon Princes nukes their stats. And unfortunately with Boris jumping down to terror out everything, that is going to be a very valiant defeat, but a defeat nonetheless. So well played to my opponent. A back and forward game that, you know, despite the map, did end up being a pretty fun battle. So yeah, Creative Assembly have got some refining to do with the multiplayer system, obviously in the approach to game 3, and part of that I would dare say is the map pool, because we've got some real stinkers in the rotation at the moment. But yeah, I mean, this is I would say a relatively meta high elf list. Elithanar is good Demigryph insurance. You see he gets good value there. He will pick up Demigryph models. Obviously no Demigryphs here. And the Sunmaker was able to get some, yeah, really good value and use its ammo nice and quickly. But this is one of the matchups where he is actually genuinely a good pick. I'd say, yeah, Empire, maybe Vampire Coast, maybe Tomb Kings, even Dwarves. I've seen him used against Dwarves semi-well in some off-meta builds. You're probably never going to quite reach the level of cheese that Alariel and Lion Chariots are going to afford you, but he can work there. But yeah, this is definitely his matchup. Elithanar is, I'd say, semi-common against Empire, because he's a bit of a problem-solving unit. Again, bolt throwers are just insurance. They actually got reasonable value, probably made their cost back between the two. I probably just shot at the Sunmaker for too long. You kind of, particularly on bigger maps where it outranges you, you've kind of just got to take your medicine, and you kind of just got to let it shoot at you, because, like I said, it burns through its ammo quick. Probably in most cases it'll burn through its ammo before you can actually take out artillery pieces. So yeah, you kind of just got to look for value elsewhere. Archers did their job, shut down the silver bullets pretty well. Dragon Princes gave me some good value. They will beat pretty much anything aside from maybe Demigryphs 1-to-1. Shame that I lost my healing so early. I don't know why the mage was that far down there, to be honest, but that was a micro mistake on my behalf. But yeah, it would have been nice for her to route back through her own troops rather than past the Empire lines. But yeah, nice force. The Empire has a few good Lord options here. I see Boris relatively often. Marcus and Volkmar are also semi-commonly picked. I do have to watch out for Tempest, but because Alariel, like I said, Alariel is solid here as well. But yeah, Boris not a bad pick at all, and then just nice wide sort of state troop line. Reichsguard, not really not really having a great day out, but this is, as I said, this is one matchup. This and maybe Beastman are the other matchups where I've seen Empire players use Reichsguard probably more often than not. More often than other matchups where you hardly ever see them. But yeah, fun game. Thanks to Astriolis for the game. Thanks for, I did ask if I could cast this. So thanks for letting me cast and get up on the channel. Hope you enjoyed it despite the wonky map. Until next time, take care.